for DA Dangerously Active League. Want to pretty much give like I guess a guide slash tutorial of not pretty much say solo healing DME for the second boss with Hawkman, but more or less of a guide of how to and what to do for as healing goes. With that aspect, later on I want to do one for the cards because it's long overdue. Because I know pretty much every time I hear comments in group shout and LFG or just pretty much in particular videos I do make on how to do, I hear the same comments like this is this is easy, and that's a given word to say, but you can't use it all the time because everybody don't know, and that's pretty much why we have these self guides like City and Chill does all the time, and God bless him for doing it, or my homeboy GeoForce 100 that does all the detailed videos that he does. So, and all the DPSs out there that does these crazy, amazing loadouts, they do. So, why not do a little guide to how to do? So, needless to say, I have a video me someone a few times before, but I have one. I'm just gonna leave it raw. Normally I have some using stuff at it, but I'm pretty much animated when I get into my playing style, and everybody playing style is different. So I'm not asking you to do exactly like me. I'm just asking you to be aware of certain aspects when it comes to your role. Like for example, we're gonna talk about healing, so we're just gonna leave it like that. All right. So uh, kind of wish we just ended it, or I just had time to explain while we're actually at Hawkman the boss, but it is what it is. So you'll see as the demonstration goes with the whole raid. But again, if it's just one healer or two, the rule of thumb is when you're healing, because we know each healer pretty much got a range of heals. Like nature is pretty far, but it's not far. Celestial is pretty much the widest span. Then of course you got sorcery and electric. So if you know your role, that's a good thing. But if you don't know, definitely ask a lot of questions, do your homework, find what works for you and what works for the group, and definitely works for the raid. So there's individual ones. All right, now the main one that I'm seeing a problem with a lot of healers and DME for the league or just any raid periods, but definitely for DME. If you didn't know, there's a line of sight with your heals. That's like rule number one as a healer. And what I mean by heals, excuse me for that phone going off, notifications and crap. But what I mean by that is the range for your heals or the out of sight is pretty much, let's say, if you have a player that's here, let's pretend it's a rock, a big boulder, they're caked up behind it, and the boss is pretty much here, and usually the healer is behind said boulder on the other side of the room with the rock, and you're just giving off heals. Now the group or individual player that's in your vicinity is going to get all the heals. But unfortunately, the person that's right here feeling like he's going to be safe, then sorry, or just a number chasing, or just want to be close, you know, whatever the reason is, and the boss is over here, or the ads, or whatever, they're not going to get your heals, especially with all the splash damage hitting them, or the boss AoE, or the boss might just take a fling at the tank, and the other group member is a little bit too close, trying to give off whatever they try to give off. I don't know. That's pretty much where it goes from there. The best thing I suggest and recommend, if you've seen any of my videos for just regular or elites, I pretty much try to put myself in hindsight of everything, whether it was electric, sorcery, nature, it doesn't matter. So what I normally would do is, let's say the boss is in the middle, like normal. depending on where the tank is going, if he's taking him at the door, if he's taking him on the far right corner, if he's taking him on the far left corner. And before it used to be 2 healers, but if it's 1, that's fine. But if it's 2, I normally will be on top of a boulder so my heals can reach across the board. That's normally what I do all the time. Now you say to yourself, well, Mad Hatter, well, sometimes the boulders explode, or the tank might. Not saying he loses aggro, but so far with the content, Hawkman is kind of iffy, and he seldomly moves wherever you want to move. I have clips of that. It is really ridiculous where the tank will literally hit him with all types of ass clear across the board. So that's on DC Universe. But needless to say, you got to kind of step outside the box a little bit, and mostly I pretty much just say kite and heal, or heal around and just heal and kite and heal. So, but yeah. So if the boss is coming over here in the one-sided corner, I'm on top of the rock, I'm healing, watching over the group. In my side eye into the camera on the top right, your map, you see a couple of red dots pop up. That's where the embers is coming out. So depending on the direction, also for the healers, if you can, because we have a 4-man shield in our loadout, or some of use like supercharges, or depending on the troll, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about ourselves right now. So normally what I would do is I'll time my 4-man shield and my supply drop just for that first wave, so the group can consistently stay given the most burn for the first wave of his before he does his walk of shame in one shot. So pretty much is I just time it with the embers. So if I need to still keep healing, I have embers on me. I just pretty much pop a 4 shield, still consistently heal, because I have pretty much 4 or 5 or 8 on me. When I'm aware of my shield's about to go down, I'll pop a supply drop on top of myself, just to get a little extra burst of health and power, so I can just spam again, just one more time, and then I pretty much just move out the way and again, just kite and heal, kite and heal. Now the tricky part is what a lot of people don't know or don't pay attention to, because again, everybody get nervous, it's elite, and that's fine, but just be more comfortable with your role and your power and your ability. Now, while the boss is doing a walk of shame, and you, let's just say, depending on what role you are, again, we're still sticking with the healer, you're still healing and kiting. I meant with the embers. And so if the boss is walking on you, and a group member's right here, and he doesn't have a 4-man shield and nothing like that, but you don't want to die, because one or two times you're going to survive. I'll kite him into a boulder, run up against the boulder, jump up over it, block, pop a 4-man, block, or have like a shielding, heal over time, depending on depending on your healing, and just wait. So by the time he do the one shot behind the boulder, hits, you come right back, you're waiting for your tank to get aggro, because you're pretty much watching your tank at that point, come back out, heal again, depending on where the tank is positioned, and if you have a boulder, great. Now, let's just say about the same spot the tank all clusters of that's closest to the tank and the boss is out. You have an option. There's free room everywhere. So I'll pretty much know your position, like support role's supposed to do, minus the tank. We are in the back lines. I want to be further back. I'll be back far enough where my heals can reach. Okay, so that's pretty much how I'm doing it. And at the same time, depending on the embers and how many, I am kiting and healing the whole time. Alright? Keeping track of your rotations, making sure my shield is up for not just you, embers. Timing it just well enough for me to pop off the orbital strike on the boss. Just get for damage out, because we're again, and it's pretty much all about DP. We don't have it, it's not gonna work out. But that's pretty much it for the little tactics with the healer for that. Again, I feel like it should have been done a long time ago because I keep seeing it a lot um, with a lot of healers. And normally my main is troll, and even same thing over troll. And I guess I'll pretty much do that down the line. But just as a healer perspective on my end, that's pretty much how I heal it all the time. I keep track of my heals when I'm watching the whole group, especially the tank, because we need him. Um, I'm always pretty much 9 or 10 times on top of a boulder. I'm timing it with the Walk of Shame with Hawkman on just before he do his one shot, because you gotta amp him up a lot of time before he do it. So he has his walk. When he gets to the position, he has his jump. He has a long animation pause for that one, long enough to you can still get where you need to go. Same thing with the DPSs. If you got a solo healer that's healing it, it'll be great for 2 healers, one on each side of the building, of the room, just in case for the one shot and the group needs to heal. Because I understand everybody needs to run furthest away from him so the tank can get the first aggro and keep it moving. I understand that. But also just keep in mind, behind a boulder, knowing full well there's an Ember 2 on you and your health is at like 30 to 10% or 50%, just know, be aware that you're gonna die if a healer's not there to run save you. So that's pretty much for that. So again, I'm gonna add the clip of the video of me solo it. So definitely enjoy it. I'm not gonna put the music on. It's pretty much raw, and I'm pretty animated with certain parts. So that's just my playing style. But just be self-aware of a lot of stuff goes on. Because if you're behind the boulder and the player's behind the boulder, you'll see them all the time, and it makes a little bit hit and miss on a certain area. And I understand everybody make mistakes. Just something to be more self-aware of it. All right, guys, appreciate it. Damn good. But all types of backflips. Help him, Lord, help him. He stayed dying. Jesus.
If he dropped one more fucking meteor on me, it's gonna be a better day. And he destroyed my favorite rock. And
I guess it's my turn to slap an orbital in there. There you go. get you, buddy. What the? Why would you leave? Okay, I guess he sacrificed himself for it. Still pick him up. No, fuck it. Keep it burning.